See the today example. So I'm going to explain about just login, logout example, logout session in JSP, right? So how to work with the session management like login, logout. See, simple example, we already completed this login, logout session example using the servlets concept also, but where we need to write the code, everything inside the servlet. But here it is a simply we can write the code in JSP using JSP using a simple example, right? All the predefined objects. Already we have seen predefined request object, right? A predefined response object. In the same way, how to work with a predefined session object also. Today we'll see with a login. So first taking that simple one in Eclipse, here it is. Same dynamic web project you take, dynamic web project, JSP, just login, logout I am giving. Any project name you can take, a simple name I have taken, login, logout. First one, login.jsp page I am taking. Simple one, login.jsp page, JSP. The basic code we already know, and today I'll write some extra code also. Some extra code also we are writing. Extra code. So what is that extra code? First, head I'm removing, only just in a body I'm writing. In a body I'm writing. Directly form action where it has to go, like checking like authentication, authenticate.jsp page, method a get or post we are taking, form. Inside the form we are just asking clearly, just asking enter username, input type equals to text, name equals to some user I'm giving, user, just a break tag. And next one is the same one, enter password, input type is equals to text, name equals to some pass I'm taking, and that break tag. Input type, submit type I'm giving, submit type, the value is a login, that is. Just normally we are taking only the form, but before that form we will write some code also that I'll explain. H1, it's just a login form or just login, here we will add some code. That code I'll explain here, not now, as of now I'll explain. Okay, now here when they click on this one, authenticate.jsp file, it will action to JSP file when they submit. So we are writing that authenticate.jsp file, authenticate.jsp, finish. In this authenticate.jsp, okay, here we are taking is the same story, no head, only in a body, we are writing complete a scriptlet tag code, complete Java code we are taking, string that user We know how to get. Request is a predefined object. Request dot get parameter of, there also we have given user only, the same name what you specify that you need to take here. And here if you want to change, you can change it. Suppose username, no problem. The next one is a string. Suppose I'm giving password completely. Request dot get parameter of, there we have given pass. See, we know already so many examples we have seen. These two names should match with the form names. And here you can collect into the variable names any type. I mean, any name you can give. And this one, if any name I'm taking, suppose username dot equals, just comparing that equality, equal to, suppose here it is that name and password dot equals of, suppose equals to, I'm not taking integer, is a string type only. Now this is important. What we are doing, no need to create the session object is automatic. Simply session dot, in servlets what we did, we have to call get session, then you will get that session object HTTP session. Here simply session dot set attribute, session dot set attribute. What is that name? User. What you want to set? Username. And this is again variable name we are setting to the session. And what is the username? What they enter, suppose Amar, that will set as an attribute, this one. And then where it has to go is very simple, response dot, directly I'm sending to one page, one simple page I'm sending, send redirect, it will redirect to that particular page. We will write in simple page services dot JSP page, services dot JSP page we are taking. Simply services dot JSP page. That is, in case if it is not there, this part is very, very important. If username and password both are equals, we are setting a value to the session, and we are redirecting to some page, services.jsp page, that we will define anyway. Suppose if it is failed, what we are doing, look at this one error, just a message I'm taking, message invalid username and password, or username or password, simply any one error, password. Here it is, try again. This is the message where I should set, means a very, very important, to request object. What is that request object? See, request dot, now setting the attribute to not to session object, it's a request object as error message, that is message. That message will set to the request object as an error. With this variable name you can collect. Sir, where you will write this example, I'll explain simply. Okay, request dot set attribute. Now observe this. Request dot get request dispatcher. Get request dispatcher of, where it has to go, starting page, login.jsp page. Na? It's not include. Look at this. Include dot forward request and response. Request and response. So where it will go? It will forward to the login page only with a new request object. But in request object, you already set one attribute name is called error with some value, invalid username and password. Invalid username and password. Sir, why this? Now I'm back to login.jsp page. Here I'm writing the code. Look at this. Here it is. Scriptlet. I'm writing code. Scriptlet string anything. If message is equal to or error message equal to request dot get attribute. There we set attribute na. There we have given the name is error that we are collecting into this err dot message. Error message. Okay. Now here what we are doing. What we are doing here. Simply if error, individual lines I am writing to make you understand. If error, that is error message is not equals to null, and this is important, is not equal to null. Okay, now look at this. What I am writing here, error message also we are writing at the top. Error message also we are writing at the top. How we are writing? Simply everything if you want to write in a single line. Suppose if error message is not equals to null, simply to say paragraph that error message. Sir, how we need to display that error message? This is the problem. That's why here only you need to close. Here you need to close. Then this is paragraph. In this paragraph, you need to add that error again. Error. The message. Error message. And then here you need to close that P. Close that P. Here it is a if block open. And here you should close that if block. If block close. I'll explain all these things more clearly. Now try to understand. Simple one. Request object. It is you need to convert into string. See, let me explain all these things more clearly. The question is, first of all, whenever you log in, by that time there is no error because you didn't log in at first time you are logging in first time. So in request object, no error is there, only null is there. The question is here, if it is not equals to null, then this message will print. If it is equals to null, this code will not execute. First time, when you are executing this code first time, right? Request object is not containing any value. It's equals to null. So first time this code will not execute. First time this code will not execute. Sir, when this code will execute? Suppose you already enter your username and password, but what you enter username and password, any username or password is an error. error. Then it will go to this file, authenticate. Any username and or password error, it will come to else block. It will give the message invalid username or password that will set to request object, and it will forward that request object to the login.jsp page again. Again, you will go to the login.jsp page. But now in a request object, there is an attribute name is error. In this object, now request object error, some message is there that will collect. Now it's not null. If it is not null, print that. Print. See, I just want to print with the paragraphs in between. So look at this. Java code start here and end here. Right? For this ending here, in between, one HTML tag came. And this is, directly expression tag. Whatever the message will display directly on the screen. Scriptlet tag, declaration tag, expression tag. We use expression tag because directly it will write the code. That is, suppose in a login, first if you run this, up to here if you run this, what will happen? We'll see. So whenever we are executing this one, first it will show the login page as usual. Login page. Username I'm giving instead of Amar some other name. So definitely fail. Now look at this. This is what I'm telling. Second time only it will show that invalid username or password, try again. Invalid username or password, try again. This is what I'm discussing now. Colors and all, if you want to apply, CSS, you can apply any colors. Okay, so mostly we'll see this kind of examples. That's why I'm explaining this. Okay, now in authenticate.jsp, else block is working fine. Now about the if block. In a services.jsp, now we need to code about a services.jsp file. Services.jsp file. Again, we don't want head location, just body. Some hyperlinks I will give. Some hyperlinks. Okay. So here what we are doing in body. Whenever, see, look at this. Whenever if services successful, we are setting some attributes to session. Then overall session. Up to we invalidate, session will go. Okay, we will invalidate when they click on logout. Session.set attribute username. So first here it is, we are checking, we are collecting that. We are collecting string user equals to, already we set to the session. Sir, why you are converting every time means session will give as an object. We need to convert, important. Session dot get attribute. What you have given here to the session attribute user. So the same name you have to specify here. You need to specify here, getting that session and giving that message. Giving that message. H1 welcome. Welcome so and so equal to username. Equal to username. That is user. Welcome user. H1 close. H1 close. Now, after giving that name, suppose if bank application successfully login, then check your account details, withdraw. Some options will give. So that what I'm writing, one unordered list I'm writing simply. What are the list items? What are the list items, some links I am giving, href, some home page. As of now, I'm not giving anything, hash. It will not work. Later we'll see. Okay, now this is a go to home page. List again. One more anchor tag href. It will not work. That's why. Linking I'm not giving. Later I'm giving link. Profile. Link. See, the same thing you need to use in a project also. That's why you keep practice all this. Hash. Some settings. I'm giving like this. And next one is a list. href. Only one I am writing. When they click on logout, go to the logout.jsp page. Only for this I am giving. Whenever they click on logout, remaining buttons anyway will not work because we are not giving any messages here, only just giving that logout. So finally we need to write the code for logout.jsp page. New JSP page, logout.jsp page. Same here, no head location. In this one, logout.jsp, we are coding, very easy coding, directly invalidate the session. Just session dot method invalidate, finish, done. Not more than this. Okay, then h2 giving that logged out successfully. Logged out successfully. If you want to log in again, then we are giving that paragraph tag. Just a paragraph tag. Want to log in again, anchor tag href. Where it has to go, login.jsp page. Close. Click here. Just a message. Click here to log in again. Just anchor I'm closing here. Instead of giving total, only click here to log in again. Log in again. That's all. So only this click here will print in a blue color. When they click on that one, because you have mentioned in between anchor tag, when they click on that, it will go to login JSP page again. This is the complete code. Let me execute. First time when you run, message, error message is null. So it's not showing anything. Is null. This is null. That's why it's not showing anything. Again, I'm telling. Okay, sir, suppose if I'm giving that wrong data, login, now it will go to this authenticate page, right? Username fail. It will add some message to the request object and it will send the control to login.jsp page again. Now, if you go to the login.jsp page, now this error message having some value, it's not null. So it's printing that error message that is happening here. Invalid username or password, try again. That what you have written here. Okay, now I'll give the correct details. I'll give the correct details. Here it is, name and password. Now login. Look at this. Now it is successfully login. Successfully login. So it will go to that services page. In services page, we are giving welcome user. That session attribute we are collecting. So that username it is printing clearly and is giving some 3 dummy links and 1 link logout. When you click on logout, it will go to that logged out successfully. Logged out successfully. Getting that getting that session dot invalidate, logged out successfully. Only click here, you have written inside the anchor tag. Only click here, it is showing. See, to login, it is not showing as a text only. When you click here, then again it will go to the login page. See, again it is not showing any message because again it is null request object. This is the simple way of writing login, logout, setting values to request object, setting values to session object, a very important one. In the next class, I'll explain some core tags and action tags in JSP. Once you perfect in those areas, then we can execute one MVC application, then we can execute one CRUD application, then final project on web development. Okay, so please practice this one. Okay, you can leave for today. Thank you.